As the war in the Middle East enters its third week, AOC is already demanding that America accept Palestinian refugees.
Should Arab countries be taking on the lion's share of the burden to absorb what could be over 1 million, if not more, refugees from Gaza?
I think there's something to be said about the region's partners being able to support and step up Palestinians. However, that does not abdicate the United States from our historic role that we've played in the world of accepting refugees and allowing people to restart their lives here.
No thanks. That seems like a bad idea. Maybe, perhaps, we could consider taking in the relatively small number of Christians living in the Palestinian territories. Not because we hate Muslims or anything like that, but because there are lots of Arab states around the Holy Land that could take the Muslims in, and America is a Christian country. And even putting Christian solidarity aside, that means there's a good chance that Christian refugees will assimilate. And the ability to assimilate matters because peoples and cultures are different. And there's one more concern, which might resonate more for AOC. Why would liberals want to bring these refugees to our awful, oppressive, Islamophobic country? All we ever hear from the left is how terrible and evil and oppressive America is, especially toward persons of color and Arabs and Muslims in particular. Does AOC just hate these people? Want to make them even more miserable? Or is that argument, like so many of the liberal arguments, totally disingenuous? Nothing more than a fact-free rhetorical cudgel for beating Americans into submission to the left's political interest. Right now, text Knowles to 989898. The G20, or Group of 20, is an international forum for governments and central bank governors. It was established in response to the financial crises of the late 1990s with the aim of promoting international financial stability. Last month, the G20 announced a plan to impose digital currencies and digital IDs on their respective populations. Central bank digital currencies essentially allow the government to track every purchase you make. Even if you don't follow international economic policies all that closely, you should be concerned and you should consider diversifying at least some of your assets into physical gold with the help of Birch Gold Group. Call Birch Gold today to preserve your savings in a tax-sheltered retirement account. If you have an IRA or 401k from a previous employer, call Birch Gold and they will help you convert it into an IRA in gold. You will not pay a penny out of pocket. They will simply convert that 401k that would otherwise be sitting in a bank somewhere into physical gold that can't be tampered with. Text Knowles, Canada WLAS, to 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. If digital currency becomes a reality, you will be glad to have something physical to fall back on. Text Knowles, Canada WLAS, to 989898. Claim your free info kit on gold today. Right now, go to puretalk.com/Knowles. Pure Talk recently announced that they would alleviate $10 million in veteran debt by Veterans Day. Thanks to your support last week, Pure Talk is 53% to their goal with 2 weeks to go. Now think about this. We have a 100% volunteer military, men and women who raise their hands to sacrifice for this country. And when they're done serving, they come back to a tight job market and an outrageous cost of living expenses. That is why I am so happy a private company like Pure Talk has jumped in to help. When you switch to Pure Talk's lightning-fast 5G network, they will donate a portion of every new order to this noble cause. You can make a real difference just by choosing superior cell phone service. Pure Talk's plans start at just $20 a month, offering unlimited talk, text, more data, and a mobile hotspot. Just go to puretalk.com/Knowles, Canada WLAS, to make the switch. Let's rally together and show our unwavering support for our veterans. That is puretalk.com/Knowles, Canada WLAS. Switch to Pure Talk today. It is the right move, and it is the American way. Where's the money? Where's the money proving that Joe Biden is a crook and was peddling American influence overseas to enrich himself and his family? Where's the money, Jack? Come on, Corn Pop. Show me the check. Well, we got the check. James Comer, who's running the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, has revealed bank records that show a $200,000 direct payment from James and Sarah Biden, Joe's brother and sister-in-law, to Joe Biden. In 2018, James Biden got $600,000 in loans from AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps was a financially distressed and failing rural hospital operator. So goes to bankruptcy court. Bankruptcy court says that James Biden received these loans, quote, based upon representations that his last name, Biden, could, quote, open doors, and that he could obtain a large investment from the Middle East based on his political connections. which was probably true. So James Biden gets this $600,000 loan. On March 1st, 2018, AmeriCorps wired a $200,000 loan into James and Sarah Biden's personal bank account, not their business bank account. So you got 600 is the big number. 200 goes directly to the personal bank account of the brother of the now president of the United States. And on that same day, James Biden writes a $200,000 check from that same personal bank account to Joe Biden. What more evidence could we possibly have that Joe is taking bribes? There's no more. You couldn't have a more smoking gun. In a way, I'm kind of surprised that Joe was this sloppy. I figured that as a crook, he would have at least hid the money a little bit better, one or two more shell companies before it going basically just straight into his brother's personal bank account and straight from that, not even from a different bank account, from that bank account to Joe. That's all the evidence you need. I mean, we had all the evidence we needed when we got the Hunter Biden laptop, where Hunter Biden is saying, yeah, we're giving 10% to the big guy. Sometimes I got to give half my salary to my dad. I'm not going to do that to you though, kids. Yeah, I'm the bag man for the Biden family is essentially what he was saying. We already knew all of that. And it doesn't really matter. And the reason it doesn't really matter is because of a crisis of regime that we're facing. We nominally live in a democracy. Sometimes people draw a distinction between a republic and a democracy, but broadly speaking, we're talking about the same thing. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. But there's a dark side to democracy, which is mob rule. Just as you can have a monarchy, but you can have a dark side to monarchy, which is tyranny. Just as you could have an aristocracy, which is theoretically good. Aristo means good. It's supposed to be government by good people, small group of good people, but governing for the common good. The bad side of aristocracy is oligarchy. What distinguishes the good from the bad version of all of these regimes? What distinguishes it is whether you are governing for the common good or for your self-interest. That's the classical distinction, going all the way back to the ancient Greeks, going back to Polybius. In modern political philosophy, people make less of this distinction. Thomas Hobbes famously said that distinction is basically bunk, and we just view our own regimes as good and other people's regimes as bad. But I think the distinction is pretty real. There have been good monarchs throughout history, and there have been tyrants throughout history. There have been good democracies throughout history, and then there have been states run by mob rule. The problem here is the American democracy, such as it is, has already decayed so significantly that people are ruling openly for self-interest. And so this $200,000 check is not going to bother the Democrats, because the Democrats are going to say, well, at least he's our guy. At least he's on our side. Yeah, he's enriching himself, but who cares? He's going to enrich me too. He's going to give me handouts. He's going to punish my enemies. He's going to let me and my friends off the hook for committing the same or worse crimes as the conservatives and the Republicans. So yeah, he's governing out of self-interest, but he's our guy, and we're governing out of self-interest too. This is the line of, I think it was H.L. Mencken, who said, democracy is the theory that the people know what they want and they deserve to get it good and hard. Boy, what a great clip that was, huh? It was good. And what do you do now? You got to ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.